And I'm going to move this thing out of my way so I can speak to you without any distractions. Angelina, thank you for the welcome. And I think I have about a half an hour worth of content I want to share with you. And then I want to go to Q&A because that's where the real magic is. So bear with me because I'm going to slide through these slides quickly so that I can get to the Q&A and drive into LinkedIn. Recording on share. Who am I? You know who I am. I've been eating, drinking, sleeping, preaching, coaching, training, standing on the street corner of the sandwich board, teaching people LinkedIn as a business tool full time since 2010. I got started in late 2009. My job is to play with it, break it, tear it up, put it back together, and show you how you can get value out of using LinkedIn, no matter what your purpose is. What is LinkedIn? We all know what it is, but did you know this? It's the #1 professional networking site in the galaxy. And I'm taking a bet that, Mars doesn't have anything better. 905 million people on LinkedIn, about 2 to 4 humans, real people, not the bots that show up on LinkedIn every second. That number, it's been at least 2 new members every second for about 2018, do the math, 5 years now. 64 million companies have LinkedIn company pages. Whole lot of people on LinkedIn. There's a whole lot of activity, even though you may not see it. Still today, about 25% of all LinkedIn members show up every other week and do something. They show up and do something, and that's what we're looking for, is people to show up and do something. It's critical if you're all about becoming discovered, building a right network, and building a brand and a reputation. And I don't know why my monitor and desk is shaking. It feels like there's an earthquake in Davie County, North Carolina. So I want to share with you some rules. This is the easiest way for me to give you some best practices and tips for using LinkedIn. There's 3 key areas of LinkedIn. You got to build a profile focused on your target audience, whoever that is, and it may change as time changes, as your goals change. You got to build a network of connections that are highly relevant to you in very meaningful ways. By the way, I make this whole slide deck available to you. You can read it all later. And then you got to be willing to get into conversations, either start a conversation or join a conversation. Look, that's where the magic is. Behind me, before I put this fake backdrop behind me, I shouldn't have told you that. I used to have a sign that says it all starts with a conversation. And that's how I have built my business, how I have been successful in life, by being willing to start and get into relevant conversations. Any questions, drop it in chat or unmute and yell at me, say, hey, Teddy. Rule number 10, you got to measure this stuff. Please pardon me 1 second. I've got to close my office door. My office mates are showing up. That's poor meeting management. I apologize for that. You got to measure to improve. You got to look at your activity. You got to look at your network. You got to look at, are the right people looking at me? Who are these people peeking at me? Is your network growing with the right people? And probably one of the most important things to measure, not probably, take that word out, the most important thing to measure is, am I connecting with the right people and moving the right people into the right conversations, whether it's career, business, or just hanging out with cool people. And by the way, there's another side of LinkedIn too. It's called learning. I had a conversation with a guy this morning. It's supposed to be 30 minutes, brand new LinkedIn connection. It's supposed to be a 30-minute call. It was an hour call. Why? Because I was learning some stuff from him that just blew me away about his industry. So it's not just finding a job. It's not just finding business. It is also discovering new ideas and learning. Number 9, lead with give. This is how we are successful in life. I wrote a book called Networking for Mutual Benefit, available on Amazon.com for $653 a copy. But I wrote this book, Networking for Mutual Benefit, and in it I wrote this phrase: networking is finding, developing, and nurturing relationships that mutually move people forward through life. Not about selling. It's It's not about asking for a job. It's about connecting with people and giving and sharing with them and helping them. When you do that, you're going to create the best possible brand for you. So you need to make sure on a regular basis you're giving something. If you're in a job search, you better be helping recruiters. By the way, I'm a career coach and I've also been a recruiter. And I know that the best relationship with the recruiter is a bi-directional relationship, not calling them up, hey, where's my job? Where's my job? That won't work. That'll fail miserably. But you can give ideas. You can help people. You can introduce people, share content that helps people. Give is an important philosophy. And it's really, again, a huge part of how I've grown my business. I use these phrases on a regular basis, Cole. I tell people that I give away everything I make $1 million a day doing. The number might vary a little bit. I give it all away in little teeny pieces across to everybody I can. Give it all away. Number 8, treat your LinkedIn network as a portal to success. Okay, heard a phrase at a conversation the other day is, are you treating your LinkedIn network as a means to an end? Or are you using your LinkedIn network appropriately, which means network for mutual benefit? But when you build a LinkedIn network, focus on your goals, connect with the right people, and then start getting into conversations with the right people about the right content, then it'll work. Then LinkedIn can work for you. Your network can work for you. Make a new connection every day of your life. There are 27,000 people on this call right now, divided by 1,000. How many of you are connected to all 27,000? Do you know them? And are you connected to them? Because you have no idea who Jason knows until you look at Jason's network. And Donna Jordan has no idea who Donna Vargas is connected to. And Donna Vargas may be connected to somebody that can change Donna Jordan's life. I hope y'all pronounced the names right. Connect with everyone you meet in life, especially those who are relevant to you in business, in your career. I connected with my Starbucks baristas. Then that was really cool because then they went off working somewhere beyond Starbucks. And I now have a connection with somebody who works for a target company. And I have a business card process. It's all about every time I go somewhere, if I collect business cards, and I don't do that so much anymore, but I still do, then my business card process is this. And I talked with London about it earlier. I put every business card I meet is a human that I met in real life, not business cards I steal from a fishbowl. I put them in my personal context. 5,800 people in my personal contacts that I've met in real life. And I say hi to them via email and thank them for the meeting, the conversation, whatever was relevant, move them forward in whatever relevant conversation via email. Then I go look for them on LinkedIn. Every single business card is a process I do. I go look for them on LinkedIn. I send them a LinkedIn invite. I'm like, oh my God, great to meet you. I had a great time at that conference, that meeting, or whatever it is. So do you have a business card process? I really encourage you to do it. And by the way, side note, every single person you meet in life needs to go in your personal contacts, whatever that is for you, not just your business contacts. I hope no bosses are listening. They get mad at me when I say that. But build your networks, nurture your networks. Your LinkedIn profile is a brochure, not a resume. You know what your resume is? Your resume is nothing more than your ongoing obituary. Nobody wants to see that now. They want to see your brochure. Who are you? What do you do? What can you do? What have you done that's relevant to what you do today? And by the way, if you worked on drove a trash truck in the mornings for the same company that you also delivered caskets in the afternoon, think about that symbolism. That freaking blows me away. But that is not on my LinkedIn profile, even though I did do that work. Minimize the distractions. Use the right words. Check your spelling, check your grammar. If you really want to understand the problems of bad spelling and bad grammar, don't do it now because we're talking, but go to LinkedIn and do a Google search for pubic relations and look at the pubic relations pros out there. That will absolutely tickle your fancy. Number 6, you see what you pause at. When you're scrolling through your news feed and you pause, the system says, oh my God, he paused. He wants more of that. So don't just not touch it. Don't pause on it because you're telling the algorithm that you want to see more of that. So be really deliberate about what you pause on, even more deliberately about what you touch, what you comment on. And if you don't like what you see, just walk by it. Don't comment on it, because the algorithm doesn't take in notice of the positive or negative comment. They only know you commented. And by the way, the algorithm knows there are a boatload of people who only want to do negative comment. By the way, if you ever see me do something stupid, please call me, email me, send me a message. Don't publicly call me out. If you don't engage on content, the algorithm is going to figure out what they want to give you, despite what you would like to see. So you got to engage on stuff you want to see more of. By the way, go look for stuff. Don't scroll through a news feed. Number 5, never do, say, or engage in any way you don't want to be seen, heard, or perceived of in life. Social media makes it easy for us, me included, to be stupid. Don't let the systems pull you into stupidity. Don't do it. That's why, by the way, if you look at my backspace key, it is worn out. Backspace, don't do it. And by the way, even if you think it's private, a private message, don't do that, because you never know who you're going to talk to. You're going to say something, and they're going to say something to someone else. Had a meeting about it's going on about a year now, where this guy was bad-mouthing somebody. And after I let him rant and rave for about 2 minutes, I said, hey, time out. You're talking about a personal friend of mine. Be careful what you do, say, or engage on. Dale Carnegie taught me this: never criticize, condemn, or complain on LinkedIn. Really, he did use all those words. Maybe not, but he did say don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Number 4, be accessible to the people that you want to be accessible to, i.e. your target audience. Maybe a recruiter, a hiring manager, maybe a peer, maybe somebody who's in another company that you want to know more about that other company. You need to make sure you're accessible. So look at your contact information. Is it up to date? Do you have the right phone number? Does your cell phone have the ability to take a voicemail message? Do you know how frustrating that can be if you want to do business with somebody, you want to hire somebody, and they go to leave you a voicemail, and that next message is what? Beep, 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 beep. This guy's voicemail is freaking full, and you can't leave a message. That's just a huge missed opportunity. Make sure you have your email address on there. And by the way, if you're in business development, or you're working using LinkedIn deliberately for your company, then the LinkedIn profile should have your business email address. If you're looking for a job, maybe you want to use your private email address. But you want to be accessible, and you also want to pay attention to what's going on. So look at LinkedIn notifications, look at messaging, look at invites, because you never know. If you're ignoring that stuff, someone may be reaching out to you for a business conversation or a career conversation. And sometimes if you're a day late, you're $1 short. Hey, I said that right, I think. I've seen this happen. I've seen invites from business owners who had a LinkedIn invite from a company that wanted to merge with them, and he ignored LinkedIn for months at end, and he missed an opportunity. Don't do that. Questions, unmute, use chat, and ask me any questions. Number 3, get into real and meaningful conversations. I say this, that you've got to be willing to walk up to a complete stranger, which is why I'm in our conversation. I'm using your names. I'm saying hi to Lindsay. I'm talking directly to Joy or Jerry. You need to get into conversations with people. That's how you develop a brand. That's how you develop trust and respect. And maybe you're not like Teddy. Maybe you won't walk up to a complete stranger and say hello to them, or ask that person why they wear that brooch, because it's a really cool brooch. Some people are uncomfortable doing that. I'm not. And for me, it's a huge part of my style, my personality, and also my business. So you need to be willing to say hi to people on social media, engage on their content, invite them to a conversation. And by the way, another Dale Carnegie statement is make the conversation all about the other person. And I added, until you get permission to make it about yourself. And by the way, if you make the conversation all about the other person, asking them questions, getting them to tell stories, they're going to trust and respect you enough to then say to you, tell me more about you. And that's a rich conversation when you treat it that way. Listen to what that person says, by the way, because you never know, Madeline, they might use a phrase or a word, or they might say it in some way that has way more meaning than just what they said. It's a really powerful way of, it's called, powerful listening skills. Get into real, by the way, real and meaningful conversations take at least 10 words, not 3. Words like, thank you, congratulations, I appreciate this, thanks for sharing. Those aren't real meaningful conversations. You might as well hit the freaking like button, which I absolutely despise. Real meaningful conversations are a minimum of 10 words. Social networking is a human to human thing. It's not about the company page. Company pages are important. People want to go look at the company, see who they are. They want to see who you work for and what they do. But more importantly, people want to talk to people. People want to talk to another human. People want to get into real conversations with humans, not bots. And they don't want to get into a conversation with someone who's pretending to be someone else. So be the real you. Show people who you are, because that can make a huge difference. People hire people who they like. So let them see who you are, and hopefully they'll like you. Don't pretend to be someone else. Dr. Seuss, and I think he's dead too. Maybe not. I think he is. He said this really cool statement. He said, today you are you that is truer than true. There's no one alive who is newer than you. Bring you to the party. Don't bring you pretending to be someone else, which is one reason why I don't use my AI images all the time. So, number 1, network for mutual benefit. It's a professional networking site. It's not a platform for finding a job. It's not a platform for selling. It's a platform for connecting with real humans and having real conversations. And along the way, you discover opportunities of people to talk to about jobs. Yeah, I get it. There's a job board on LinkedIn, and that, you probably want to pay attention to that if you're in job search. You want to pay attention to it. You don't want to get all tied up and into it and spend 8 hours a day staring at it, because that'll give you a migraine. But instead, focus on networking. Focus on believing in yourself and getting into the right conversations with the right people, because the right conversation with the right people will pay dividends. And by the way, remember, networking for mutual benefits means it's not all about you. You got to be willing, Matt, every now and then to say hello, or be willing to talk with Stephanie about her needs, or reach out to Dan and find out what he needs that you may be able to help him with. By the way, if you ever help a human in a personal way, whatever that is, that's relevant to between the two of you and that person, you help somebody in a personal way, they are more likely to want to help you any way they can. So think about that. People don't care about you until they know that you care about them. Another powerful thought process here. I got 3 bonuses. It's not a race, it's a journey. I see people get on LinkedIn, they bust through it like a bull through a china closet, which, by the way, I heard a story the other day. The bulls can navigate a china closet without knocking anything down. I haven't seen that yet. I'm waiting for the video, so I might need to change my little analogy there, but it's not a race. You got to commit to a pace that you can commit to and do it on a regular basis. Network on a regular basis, build your profile, refine it on a regular basis, engage in conversations on a regular basis. And you need to know why you are doing it. And if your need changes or adjusts, that's fine. You change and adjust your purpose, your networking, and your messaging and your profile. And by the way, I get people on a regular basis go, I want my stuff to go viral. Screw that, it ain't gonna happen. That, other than for the Beyoncés and the Tucker Carlsons and the whoever, we might think their stuff goes viral, but for us, it's about continuously moving forward, continuously doing the things we need to do. And along the way, one of our pieces of content will resonate with someone, and that piece of content may be all it takes. That conversation may be all it takes to move us to a conversation that can change our lives. Don't bet on one piece of content going viral, Teddy. It doesn't happen. Even though I do have a video on LinkedIn, on YouTube, that's gotten 5 looks, like woo woo. Bonus number 2, don't become addicted. It's not the only tool. There are lots of other tools you need to be using here. So you want to integrate, I use this phrase, we want to integrate LinkedIn into the other processes. If you're reaching out to a business professional or a peer or a recruiter or a hiring manager or whatever, you're reaching out to have a conversation with someone, do a control tab, go over to LinkedIn and look at their LinkedIn profile while you're talking with them. And then you'll discover something more about that person that can help you make the relationship a little richer. Or you'll discover a change. Or maybe today is their birthday and you didn't even freaking know it. And they would be unbelievably happy if you spent a moment going, oh my God, happy birthday. What are you going to do today? Are you going to blow out a candle or are you going to blow out 100 candles? Use it purposely and integrate it into the things you do, rather than, I say, don't set aside time to use LinkedIn because you're never going to find time to use another tool. Integrate that tool. And again, it's not the only tool. We have telephones, we have Zoom, we have, oh yeah, we can walk down the hall or we can drive to a coffee shop. Don't compare yourself to others. There are a lot of people using LinkedIn for different reasons, different purposes, different goals. And we are all different people. You do not want to be like Teddy. The world is not big enough for another Teddy. You want to be yourself. And, your industry might have different goals and purposes for using LinkedIn. Your role may have a different need for using LinkedIn. And yeah, I'm good with listening to really, really smart people like, Seth Godin or Mark Schaefer. These are my peeps, or Brand Tillman. And I like their style. I like the way they presented that. I might emulate them a little bit, but I'm not going to copy them and pretend to be Brand. That would be crazy because Brand looks better in high heels than I do. So don't compare yourself to others. You like that joke, huh, Kelsey? All right, that's it. That's all I have to share. Thank you very much for coming. No, we'll drop out of LinkedIn, out of slide decks, and go into LinkedIn. And I'm happy to answer. Is Joseph on here? I'm happy. I want to bring your profiles up. I want to talk about what's important to you. That means that this is the part where we engage and I listen. Unmute or use chat.
You didn't tell me I was going to be put on the spot here.
Oh, I didn't mean to put you over here, man. I'm sorry. Let's switch over here. I think this is Kelsey.
Turn.
Is this Kelsey?
Yep, that's me.
And you work in Chattanooga, but where do you live?
I live in Ringgold, Georgia, but
I knew that. The house with the blue shutters, or the one with the white shutters when they cross the street?
Oh no, maroon shutters.
So I just brought up a few profiles for the sake of bringing up profiles. So James says, is there a better way to update or display projects? Oh my God, James, that is such a rich question. Thank you for asking it. I knew that asking James to show up was going to be critical for me. So, James, there's a feature in LinkedIn called, it is projects. It's absolutely referred to as projects. Let me switch over to my profile. I can't get rid of anybody. I hate deleting anybody off the screen. So there's a thing called projects. I don't know if you've used it or not, but I recommend that you add this. It's right here, add a profile section, and a couple things you could do. Under additional, there's projects. So you can list a project and you can actually connect people who worked with you on that project. You can connect them to the project. And then under projects, it's down here somewhere. I gotta go find it. You can tell a story. You can tell a story about that project. You can talk about the challenges and the goals. Listen to these words. This is important. Don't just tell me you nailed a board together. Whoopee. Tell me you nailed a board together and why the business needed that board nailed together. This analogy is stupid, but it'll work. And not only why did they need it and what you nailed it together, and tell me how you nailed it together. Tell me the business benefit. It's called PAR, P-P-A-R, project problem, your action, and the results or the rewards to the company. So use projects would be a great way to add to your LinkedIn profile. And I'm hoping I'm answering your question, James. to show people and showcase your value and what you do. Let's see if you have any projects now here.
Yeah, Teddy, I have
you
projects
do?
on there, but I
Yeah.
was hoping to like add in images and things of that nature. My industry is pretty heavy on imagery since I work in the 3D sensing world.
I got you. So one other thing, do you have featured content? You don't. You don't have any featured content. So what you
Okay.
could do is you could use featured media right here, and you could put an image that represents that project, and then you could tell the story of that project in the story right here. So featured post or featured media. And James, one more thing you could do if you wanted to, depending upon how much of this content you want to create, you could go all the way to the top and you can start writing articles. And then as you write those articles, you can connect those articles to two things. If you wanted to, you could connect it to a newsletter. You have to be a creator to do that. And you could connect those articles right here under featured.
Okay.
So just another way of doing it. And our skills, anything anyone cares about anymore? I think people do. I just think that it's the people who really care about skills are more of the hiring managers and recruiters. You got 47, those are fine. You want to make sure the first 3 I see are the most important to your goal. So often I see Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. I contend those are like using a number 2 pencil. So make sure the first 3 I see are the most important and relevant to what you do, and don't worry about endorsements.
Okay.
Yeah. Who else? What other questions? Anybody?
So that featured content that you had, you basically have to post or write something and then highlight it as a featured link
So
on.
you could put an
That right?
image, a PDF. You can have a
Oh,
link
okay.
to a blog post. You could write an article. You could add it, and then you could write a LinkedIn post. Yes, sir. But it has to come from somewhere.
Gotcha.
Other than rich media. I mean, I could put a picture and then tell a story about the picture. So, oh, wait a minute. I wonder if I can put a video. I didn't look at that. Can I put a video? Let me go find a video. Documents, Camtasia, LinkedIn. Nope, I can't put a video. I can only put an image. So yeah, it's got to come from somewhere.
I like that, and I think James, what you were asking as far as a better way of showing those projects, I like that. I didn't know that you had that capability because I got a couple projects on there too. But it would be good to highlight those, and especially if you need to put pictures or something, that's a great option.
Yeah, just be careful though, NDAs and that kind of stuff. You don't want someone coming and shooting you and firing you, or wait, they'll shoot you or fire you. They won't do both. So. Who else? Anybody else? There's 30,000 people on this call. Who has a thought or a question I can help you with?
Hi, my name is Donna Vargas, and I just wanted to know, I'm a working mom and I have multiple things that I'm juggling every day. What are your recommendations and best practices for making the best use of LinkedIn in very limited time?
Oh, Donna, what city are you in?
I'm in Chattanooga.
CHA. If you don't mind, I'm gonna bring you up.
Okay. So probably, let's see here, Donna Vargas, maybe look in Virginia. That I just moved from Virginia a few months ago.
Is that you?
Yes.
I know this is not you. So how many kids do you have, Mom?
I have 3 kids, 3 boys.
Three boys. A moment of prayer for Donna. I have a daughter with 3 sons and another daughter with 2 sons, and I raised 4 daughters. Daughters. I have 4 daughters and 2 of them have sons. And so are they old enough for you to lock them in a closet yet? Or do you have to leave them out to feed them?
2 are in college, 1's in high school.
Okay, the college one. Okay, so you have a high. That's a little bit easier than the 5 to 15. So Donna, you're right. You do need to use LinkedIn in such a way that you can do it. You don't want someone telling you need to spend an hour a day, because that'll wear you out and you'll never be able to do it because it's just not enough time. What I recommend you do is figure out why you want to use it. That's the most. Why do you want to use it? You don't need to peel back those layers here. But then once you say to yourself, look, I'm talking to a project management person about this, why you want to use it. And then the next question is, who is important to you? Who are the humans, ideally their roles, that are important to you? And by the way, if you're in job search, it's not HR, unless you're looking for an HR job. Why are you using it? Who's important to you? And then you need to decide for yourself, okay, how much time do I want to invest every week to reach out and connect with people that I want to have a conversation with? And by the way, there's tactics for doing that. Then the second thing is, okay, how much time do I want to invest each week if I want to be known as an authority in my space? You know, Donna, you got to keep growing your network. If I want to be known in my space, then I need to do something. How much time? It's not my decision. It's what you have the ability to commit to. I would really encourage you, at the very least, post something that's really relevant once a week.
Okay.
And I'm not done, Donna. And once a week, go find 4 pieces of content to engage on.
Okay.
This is not huge. And once you practice this, it'll become very, very easy. But until you practice, it'll be daunting and what's the other word? Overwhelming. Practice
Yes.
it, it'll become easy. So
All right.
just
Thank you
make
very
decisions.
much.
Yeah, but you need
Yeah,
to know why you're doing it. If you don't know why you're doing it, don't do it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. That's very helpful.
Cool. Who else? What other questions do we have? That Jerry just jumped on the screen. He was hiding before and now he's unmuted, and his name is Mr. Goodner.
Yes, Mr. Katie, that is correct. I am 66 years old and I'm looking at a career pivot.
Is this you right here?
That is I. Yes, sir.
Jerry, I love the fact that I'm not the only one using oil of Olay. So you
understand.
You want to pivot. What does Jerry know what he wants to do?
Well, I have property that has water. When I say it has water, we have a natural spring that produces water when the water company runs dry. And I'm looking to take advantage of that, maybe making a small lake and research development of some type fish, because a friend of mine works for a company called True Shrimp, who is also on LinkedIn. And that's a long story, but look up True Shrimp sometime and you'll see where I'm going with that.
Yeah. So Jerry, as a career coach, I say this. You will be more successful in your journey to wherever it is you want to go once you know someone who's already there, or not just someone, maybe a group of people. So if I wanted to become, a exotic dancer in some club in Miami, well, there are a lot of things I need to fix, but first of all, I need to know more people who are exotic dancers in Miami. And that's my uberly satirical example. But if I want to become a project management professional, then I better know 20 project management professionals. And today I know 30. So not just know them, Jerry, but be willing to get into a conversation with them. Does that make any sense?
I've found one company on LinkedIn and I think I'm going the right direction. They don't have sources in my region of the United States. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
And by the way, Jerry, be careful. You don't want to talk to a company. You want to talk to a human. You want to talk to a human who's relevant to that company. I'm very deliberate about my words, Jerry, as a trainer. And because it changes your mindset when you are saying to yourself, either within your head or out loud, wow, I really want to talk to this person or this person in this role who works for a company. It changes the whole way you think about that upcoming conversation.
Okay, great advice. Thank you.
Yeah. So anybody else? Who else? What kind of ideas you have? David, good to have you on here.
Hey, quick question. I go by Dave Grimsley on LinkedIn. There's too many David, so I put myself as Dave Grimsley.
Is this you? Oh, David, or you're Dave. Excuse
Dave.
me.
Yep, I'm the first one.
Oh, my bad. Is this
Yep.
you?
Yep, that's my lucky face.
Was
Yep.
that Hickson?
Yes.
Okay.
My question is, I've been working on my LinkedIn for the past 2 years, and I've built out my feature pages and everything else, but I'm not seeing a lot of traffic. What other things can I be doing? Because I've been pretty active with some folks commenting on AI activities and things of that nature, and I really want to get into the PM AI spot where, you know, as we grow into the PM spaces where AI is going to take over some of the responsibilities, and we'll be having a pivot in the next 5 years. So just trying to see what else I can do to maximize my viewership, as it were.
You want to increase your professional brand and personal brand on LinkedIn so that you get more eyeballs in your LinkedIn profile. So more people will look at your profile and go, oh my God, this Dave dude is smart.
Yeah, in a nutshell, yeah.
By the way, what's that mean in a nutshell? We'll figure that out another day. So here's a couple thoughts. So first of all, don't tell me you're an IS project manager with 10 years experience.
Okay.
And don't tell me that, Dave. Tell me what you
Okay.
do. Tell me what you do. You're vetting yourself. We don't need to use vetting words. I want to trust, and I can validate my trust by a little bit more research. I want to trust that you're a fabulous IS project manager. Now, if you want to stay in that space, you keep using those words. If you want to adjust where you're going and being respectful to USM, then you may change these words a little bit, but still make them relevant to what you do for these guys. Okay.
Okay.
Now, here's something else. Don't tell me you're the go-to guy. You're vetting. And by the way, Dave, I'm picking on you for the sake of everybody else out here, because we all do the same thing.
Okay.
Don't tell me you're the go-to guy. Don't tell me you're an enthusiastic leader. Don't tell me that you make the impossible happen. Tell me what you do. Tell me, give me an example. I solve problems with agile project management skills. I create value. I do whatever it is. I develop operational strategies. Tell me what you do without vetting yourself. It's hard to do because we want to vet ourselves, but you do not need to. Okay. I'll vet you by looking at the rest of this and seeing what you're doing. Okay, and reading the story about how you solve problems. That's number one. Secondly, don't wait. If I look at your activity, okay, so you shared something about the Chattanooga is betting on Lilder for traffic management. Well, how relevant is that to what you do?
It was a project that I was working on at the city of Chattanooga, so I wanted to incorporate that.
So that's all you need to tell me. You didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me how excited you were to be involved in this project. You didn't tell me you started with this. By the way, look what I saw by default. All I saw by default was that stupid little hyperlink.
Right. Okay.
I didn't see your story. So put your story above that thing.
Gotcha.
Okay. So and share a little bit more often. And what you share, Dave, if you didn't hear my words earlier, let me repeat, relevant. Relevant. And if you want to be in the AI and AI PM space, then start finding content about AI PM, read it, consume it, tell me why you're sharing it, and share that once a week.
Okay.
And one more big one. You're going to get more eyeballs on you, the more you're willing to get into conversations with others. The last time you were willing to do that was a month ago. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. Yes, it was about a month ago.
A month ago, yeah.
Yeah. What I told, I think it was Donna, 4 times a week, comment on something that's relevant and comment in a meaningful way. You're good with using words. Wait, that's the same words. Wait a minute. Could you let me know? Look like the same words. Oh, you replied to your own comment.
Right.
You replied to somebody. Okay. So yeah, be willing to get into more conversations, Dave, and you will increase your LinkedIn profile views, make your profile speak more to what you want to do, and you'll get more people to see you in that space.
Okay. Good.
So,
Good to know.
question. Good question. Who else? What other questions are out there or thoughts that I could help share ideas with you, poke you, make you think, because that is my job. The unmute button is in the bottom left of the screen somewhere if you want to unmute yourself. I mean, while I'm waiting for that person to find that unmute button, look, I'm really serious about you. When you build your LinkedIn profile out, everybody needs an image of some nature here. It doesn't need to be a branded image for the company. It just means something that's relevant in some way or another. And the more I look at that, the more I probably should have flipped that image around. I wonder if I can use an AI tool to flip that image around 180 and see their faces. I kind of doubt I might need to get another image because they're walking away from me. I want them walking towards me. Dang it, Teddy. Everybody needs a profile picture. Okay. And only put your name here. I've seen a few other profiles where when I look at the profile, I've got all those, your certs. Don't put those all in your name. Nasira's got PM and ITIL. I really recommend you minimize that. One cert is not a problem, but I've seen some that have in real estate industry specifically that you just blow away your name. And I want you not to disrespect your name with all of that other stuff. Again, one cert is fine, but everybody needs that. And, look at your contact information. Customize. Logan hasn't yet. Customize your LinkedIn profile URL. And that makes it easier so that when you send an email to people, you click on compose. I can put my, LinkedIn profile URL right here. Now I've hid it. I put it on there, but it's a real easy URL for people to see. So customize it, and it makes it easier for people to be able to share it as well. So a couple little tips. Again, anybody have a question? Angelina, am I pronouncing your name right?
Quite a while, so I haven't updated my LinkedIn account in a very long time. So let's take a gander at it. Constructive criticism.
Is this you, Angelina?
That is me. That's me.
Yeah. So, by the way, I love the phrase proven servant leader, but you heard me earlier say you're vetting yourself with that word. Just call you. I'm fine with that. But by the way, if you're going to call yourself a servant leader, then I want you in here to tell me what that means. Okay. Tell me what you've done to demonstrate yourself as a servant leader.
Gotcha.
Way better than that. And by the way, just a technical thing, that anybody know what that, and someone use the chat. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Use the chat. If someone knows the technical term for that, then drop it in chat. And so let's see if you're as old as I am, but do not use that character. Instead, switch over and use a different character. I use the dot. So because that character, Angelina, can cause problems with LinkedIn search. I did some tests and I used to show up in 300 or 400 LinkedIn searches. Now I'm showing up in a much bigger LinkedIn searches, and part of it was getting rid of that character. So what other question do you have, Angelina, so I don't have to keep rattling?
No, I think it was, you hit the main points that I was curious about. So thank you.
Yeah, grow this out. You have 2,600 characters there. Tell me here at is it Erlanger Health? Tell me what you do. Otherwise I'm looking at this like, and Angelina, please let me play because I'm playing and having fun here. Why are they hired you? Because you ain't doing squat.
Okay.
Sorry. No, and you don't have to worry about this, for yourself. But some of us old goats, we don't need to put our years on our education section.
Okay.
So thank you for playing with me. Let's see. Joy. I think Joy just dropped in. and she asked me a question. And so bring her over here. My LinkedIn profile is outdated. So would you like it? So I would like your input on where to start. So never put the @ don't put @modmad. I know where you work. It tells me right there. You get 220 characters here on that. So tell me what you do as a senior PMO manager. Tell me, and if you're going to use phrases like continuous improvement and senior PMO manager, tell me down here in this story, all I see is these first 4 lines by default. Tell me more about how you create value, how you solve problems. Again, problem, project, action, result. So I hope that makes sense to you, Joy.
It does. Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. You're going by Joy Annette, and you're going by Annette here. A suggestion, do we call you Annette or do we call you Joy?
I'm Annette. I go by Annette, but Joy is what PMI knows me by because that's my first name. So
Yeah. So tell your PMI folks that you're Annette. Here's why. And you can do whatever you want to do. I'm Teddy. I'm full of ideas. Use them as you see fit. But I'm Teddy Lee Burriss Jr. You look at me on LinkedIn, I'm just Teddy Burriss. Why? Nobody knows me as Teddy Lee Burriss Jr. other than my mama. So use the name that everybody knows you as here and on Zoom calls, because, Cole's looking for Joy Annette and can't find you on LinkedIn.
gotcha. Thank
So,
you.
I think I have 5 minutes left as my handlers. So thank you, Logan. I have time for another question or another idea. So please, anybody want to hit me up with something? Please ask.
Hi,
me.
Tim. Hi, Tim. This is Nasra. I think you called on to my
Hey,
LinkedIn
Nasra, how you
profile
doing?
earlier. Yes. Hey, I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
So one thing that I see is always an offer for premium, try LinkedIn Premium, etc. But do you know if there's a value to that? What do you think? And I know you probably may not.
So I
try to
say
sell it,
this.
but yeah.
I say this, Nasra. Find out what LinkedIn wants you to send them every month. Take 10% off and send it to me, and then you can message me all day long and ask me any questions. Oh, wait a minute, that's not the right answer. Here's the right answer, Nasra. Do not pay for LinkedIn unless you have a purpose for paying for LinkedIn. The purpose may be you're doing enough LinkedIn searching that you're running into the commercial use limit. And the commercial use limit is all about, you click right here, you look for project manager, and I purposely spelled that wrong, and you're looking at people, and you do this over again, and then finally one day LinkedIn shows you 2 results, and there's a line here that says, you're using LinkedIn at a higher level, we recommend you pay. Now, if that frustrates you and you need to get more search results, then my recommendation, Nasra, would be to pay for LinkedIn Premium month to month for 1 month, maybe 2 months, and then you prove to yourself that you really like it before you go to annual, and you get a discount when you go to annual. Now, there's one other reason I would tell you to pay for it, and that would be if you're after LinkedIn Learning. Now, you can get LinkedIn Learning free through some libraries, but you can also, if you're paying for LinkedIn Premium, you get it as a part of LinkedIn Premium. So maybe that's a benefit for paying for it.
Okay. So, thank you.
Good question.
And I'm in the same boat as, I don't remember who said, I have not updated my LinkedIn profile forever. So I'm learning a lot. I'm taking notes.
All good. All good. So
thanks.
Donna jumped in and dropped her LinkedIn profile, and I'm hoping that Donna will unmute herself and tell me why she wants me to look at her profile other than to see her smiling face. Donna. Oh, well, it is outdated, Donna, but you didn't ask me to be critical. So it's all a matter of why do you want to use it? What do you want people to know about you? And that's what's my purpose, what's my goal, who am I trying to have conversations with? Otherwise, don't spend time on it. If you don't have a purpose, then don't spend time on it. So All good. Don, I'm not going to be upset with you because it's outdated. It's okay. So anybody, one more question. Anybody else? Donna unmuted. All right. Thank you very much for letting me play with you and share ideas. Look, it's a business tool, and any business tool, you need to know why you're going to use it. You need to understand what's your goal, what you're trying to achieve, and then you need to understand what are the things that you need to do. I'm here to tell you there's 3 very deliberate things you need to do to get value out of LinkedIn. Build the right profile, connect with the right people, and get into the right conversations. Chattanooga PMI, Logan, London, Nasira, thank you for letting me show up and share. Appreciate you.
All right. Well,
so
thank
much,
you.
Tim.
Yeah, this is really good stuff. Thank you for everyone for participating. I'd say, you know, if we had hours on end, everybody would want you to just go through and tell us what we did wrong on our LinkedIn profiles, but we don't have time for that. Although it's great, it's really good stuff. So thank you again. I really appreciate the interaction. It's very good to not just sit and listen, but to have that level of interaction with our actual profiles. You know, I was not expecting that. That was added bonus.
Yeah, and I was polite to you.
Yeah, thank you. I can only handle so much criticism. All right. Well, we have just a few things to wrap up with today, and before anyone goes, I'm going to try